I live alone in a small apartment near campus on the third floor. Everything felt normal, until the voice started. At first, I thought it was just a neighbor downstairs. But this voice, it was too close. It sounded like it was coming from right under my bed. The first night I heard a faint whisper, broken and soft. I couldn't understand the words, but the tone. It sounded like someone crying or praying. I sat still in bed holding my breath, convincing myself I was just tired, just imagining things. The next night the voice came back, louder this time. "I'm here," it said. It was the voice of a child, gentle but with something sharp beneath it. I jumped out of bed, switched on the lights, and checked underneath. Nothing, just a few old boxes and some shoes. I started to feel uneasy. I even recorded the sound with my phone. But when I played it back, there was nothing. Dead silence. Over the next few days, the voice returned, always around 2:15 in the morning. It started the same way, with quiet sobbing, then strange questions. "Can you see me? I'm all alone. Don't let him out." Then on the fourth night, it said something that made my skin crawl. "He's right behind you." I turned around instantly. No one was there. But I swear, I felt someone watching me from the corner of the room. Something in the waiting. I couldn't sleep after that. I stayed with a friend for 2 nights. When I finally came back to grab my things, I found something under my bed. Something I never put there. A small doll, old, ragged. One of its eyes was torn out. Its clothes were tattered and its face was twisted into a grin. Pinned to its shirt was a note that read, "Thank you for keeping me company. Now it's my turn." That night I heard a voice again. But this time, it was my voice, coming from under the bed, repeating the same words I had said on those nights when I was afraid. My voice, but it wasn't me. It was just past midnight when I accepted the last order of my shift. A food delivery to a remote house on the edge of town. No name, no contact, just a drop-off address on the app. I hesitated. The location was outside my normal route, deep into the wooded back roads. But I needed the extra cash. So I picked up the food and started driving. The roads got darker the farther I went. No streetlights, just trees on both sides stretching like black arms across the road. My GPS started to glitch, lagging behind where I actually was. Finally, after nearly 30 minutes, I saw it, a small house at the end of a gravel path. The porch light was on, flickering like it hadn't been changed in years. No cars, no movement, just stillness. I approached the front door, holding the bag of food. Knocked once, no answer. I knocked again, still nothing. But just as I turned to leave, I heard something. A slow creaking sound. The front door, opening by itself, only an inch. Inside was pitch black. Not a single light on. I called out, "Hello? Your order's here." No reply. I stepped back. This didn't feel right. I placed the food gently on the doormat, took a photo for proof, and started walking back to my car. And then, I heard footsteps. Not mine, not from inside, from the woods behind me. I froze. The footsteps from the woods were slow, deliberate, and getting closer. I spun around, trying to see through the darkness between the trees. But there was nothing, just shadows shifting in the wind. I called out, "Hello? Is someone there?" No answer, only silence. But the footsteps had stopped. I rushed back to my car. The engine turned over, but wouldn't start. Once, twice, nothing. I looked up and the food bag I had left on the porch then was gone. The front door was now wide open. There was no sound. No wind, no animals. The air felt heavy, as if something was holding its breath. Then from the trees behind me, a voice, quiet, almost polite. "You're not supposed to leave yet." I looked in the rearview mirror. There was a figure standing directly behind the car. Pale face, no expression, just staring. My heart slammed into my chest. I didn't care if the engine wouldn't start. I tried again, one last time with shaking hands. This time, the car roared to life. I floored the gas, the tires kicking up dirt as I sped back down the gravel path, not daring to look in the mirror again. When I got home, I checked the app. The delivery address had vanished. It was no longer in my history. The entire order, wiped clean. I thought maybe I had imagined it all. But the next night, someone rang my doorbell at exactly 12 o'clock. No package, no person, just a cold bag of food sitting on my front steps. Same order, same house on the receipt. Only this time, it had my name on it. It was a rainy Thursday evening when I was assigned the night shift driving the school bus. Most drivers hated the after-hours maintenance routes, but I didn't mind. The roads were quiet and the silence helped me think. My task was simple: bring the empty bus from the depot to the garage on the other side of town. No students, no stops. But around 9:30, as I passed through an old neighborhood near the outskirts, I saw something that made me slow down. A child, standing alone at a bus stop. He wore an old-fashioned school uniform, buttoned shirt, tie vest, and neatly combed hair. He didn't look wet even though it was raining. And he wasn't moving, just standing there, staring at the road. I slowed the bus, opened the door slightly, and called out, "Hey kid, where are your parents?" He didn't answer. He just stepped onto the bus, walked all the way to the back seat, and sat down. No eye contact, no expression. I was stunned. I wasn't supposed to pick up passengers, especially not at this hour, but I couldn't just leave a kid alone in the rain. I radioed dispatch to report it. Static, then silence. I turned back to speak to the boy, but he wasn't in the back seat anymore. He was now sitting just 3 rows behind me. My hands tightened on the steering wheel. I hadn't heard him move, hadn't seen him get up, but now the child sat closer, still silent, still staring forward. I tried to stay calm. "Where do you live?" I asked, glancing at him in the mirror. No response. Just the faint sound of rain on the roof and the hum of the engine. I turned down the next street, figuring I'd take him to the nearest police station. But the farther I drove, the stranger things got. Every streetlight I passed began to flicker and die. One by one, they blinked out behind the bus, until the whole road was dark. That's when I heard it, a soft whisper. Not in my ears, in my head. "Turn around." It was his voice. Small, hollow. I looked in the mirror again. He was gone. Panic set in. I pulled the bus over and jumped out with a flashlight, checking every seat. The bus was completely empty. No boy, no footprints. Just the faint smell of old paper and dust, like a forgotten attic. Then my radio crackled to life. "Unit 12, what's your status?" I grabbed it. "This is Unit 12, I picked up a child. He disappeared. Static." Then a voice I didn't recognize answered. "You shouldn't have stopped there." I froze. "What do you mean?" More static. Then another voice. A woman's voice this time. "I used to drive that route too." I held my breath. And before that boy burned in the school fire. 1987. No one ever found his body. The line went dead. When I turned back toward the bus, the lights were off. And on the back window, written in the fogged-up glass, were 5 chilling words. "I just want to go home."